Hi, I'm Lizzie, and I recently discovered something strange in my house. My family have lived in this house ever since I was born, so it's really bizarre that I'd only discovered this at the age of 14. I guess my family are quite secretive. My dad is away on business trips a lot and he doesn't tell us much about what he does. And my mom has always been at home with me and my brothers, but occasionally she does write some articles for magazines and stuff. My mom has a lot of friends, and they are always over at our house, especially when my dad is away. It's kind of annoying, because she doesn't hang out with me much, as she's always with them, and whenever I ask if I can join, she says no because they were talking about adult stuff and I'd find it boring. These women usually come over once or twice a week and they gather in our basement. The basement in our house is awesome. It's full of comfy seats, like cushions and beanbags, and it's just a nice space to relax in. But yeah, on the nights mom's friends are over, I'm not allowed down there. It's weird because they were always so quiet and I never hear them laughing or anything. One night my curiosity got the better of me and I decided to just go down and see what was going on. It was deadly silent and I thought maybe they weren't even there. I opened the door to the basement as quietly as I could and tiptoed down the stairs. I couldn't believe it. There was no one there, but that didn't make sense. I literally watched them with my own eyes go down into the basement about 30 minutes ago. If they'd left the house, I'd have heard the front door. As I looked around the basement, I noticed the bookcase swaned in its usual spot. I went up to it and that's when I noticed it. Behind the bookcase was a door. I just stood there in shock. Had this always been here? I put my ear up to the door and I heard my mom's voice. She was inside some kind of secret room. I suddenly panicked and ran back upstairs to the kitchen. This was too weird. I didn't mention it to my mom, but I couldn't sleep that night. I kept wondering what she was doing in there. After I was sure my mom was in bed, I went back to the basement and moved the bookcase as quietly as I could. The door was unlocked and as I opened it I held my breath. I had no idea what to expect. As I walked in, I was hit by this strong scent of incense sticks. I turned on the light and just stared. The room wasn't very big, but it was covered in these strange paintings. I don't even know how to describe them. There were some with angels and some looked terrifying, especially this one of women gathered in a forest around a fire. On the floor was a huge rug and in the middle were a lot of objects I'd never seen before. There were tarot cards and crystals and rocks and a round wooden board with strange symbols on it. I instantly felt uneasy. I shouldn't have been in there. There was even a long wooden thing that looked like some kind of wand. What was my mom doing down here? I decided to leave before anything scary happened. The energy in the room didn't feel right. I left, making sure I left everything as it was before so my mom wouldn't notice. The next time the women came over was 2 days later. This was my chance. After about 20 minutes of them being here, I went to the basement and looked through the keyhole into this secret room. I could see my mom sat in the middle of the circle and she had her hands on some kind of crystal ball and her eyes looked all wild and crazy and she was chanting. Some of the women were grinning and some looked shocked. I felt so uncomfortable watching this. Suddenly my mom stopped chanting and turned to one of the women and started telling her things about her life. The woman was crying and saying how it was all true, and that my mom was amazing and the best fortune teller she'd ever been to. My mom is a fortune teller? But how? How did I not know this? And what does that even mean? Is she some kind of witch? The next thing she did was pick up her wand and start circling the women. One of the women fell onto her knees and started rolling her.